Good evening and welcome on the 2nd of October 2020. This is Barbers Arms episode 25. Coming up tonight, 8 o'clock, me and Gaz are going to take you through the week's news in hairdressing and barbering and any other bits. 8:15, we have our special guest, Bill Shaw, MBE, Director of Dimensions and Salon Safety Plus. Around about 8:50, we've got Gaz's Cocktail, all in one. Then we've got our local heroes. We've got Jay Kitsko from Doghouse Modern Barbering. And we have our very own Wahl's, Michael Damiano from Bedford in his fantastic brand new image Barbers. Without further ado, we're half a centre. We're 25 episodes in here, guys. Please welcome my co-host, Mr. Gary Machin.
Evening, sir. How are you? Yeah,
good.
Quite
you?
dapper. We're all in. Ah, great, mate. We're all in black. I didn't turn up and put this.
Well, we did have a phone call today, but we didn't. What are you wearing tonight? It was more like, fucking hell, I've had a really busy week. I'm stressed my tits off here, rushing to get home to get showered and changed, ready for tonight. Busy week, pal. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I know you've been busy. I spoke to you. We've had a ridiculously busy week. Busy at work, which is great to see. Customers coming back in droves. Still doing lockdown haircuts, to be honest. Still, there's people out there with 6 months worth of hair, which is quite unbelievable. Welcoming all our apprentices back. So apprentices have come back and leaving us as well. So we've got EPAs coming up next week. And we've got all our new apprentices starting next week as well, moving into our new academy. So you can imagine Rachel's stressed at the moment. She's ready to kill me and everybody else who's speaking to her at the moment. But yeah, everything's going fine. What about your week?
It's been busy again. We had a great meeting with some of the stuff we're going to talk about a little bit later. We've got some really exciting news tonight on the 25th episode, fetching you some fantastic stuff that's happening in November. I think every week in the last maybe 10 weeks, we've been building up to the UK education, then the global education. And tonight we're going to really explode into what's coming up in November on Barbers Arms. So it's been, I had a busy start to the week. Yesterday, I looked at my screen on your screen time on my iPad. I had 5 hours, 50 calls yesterday, which I think is probably a record in terms of how long I spent on my screen. So, yeah, it was quite a long time. So I think just generally getting on with things. Things are moving, obviously, in different directions. We don't know what the government at the minute are planning in terms of. It's really weird this because I'm talking to a blank screen. I don't know where Gaz has gone. Hello, Gary. Is it me? Am I left on my own? Do you ever have them feelings sometimes that you're not alive? You wake up with a really bad hangover and you think, have I fucking gone here? I hope not. Can somebody just let me know that is everybody okay? Gaz, are you there? Well, I don't
yeah.
I'm
having a bit of a technical problem there. I don't know what happened.
I thought I'd had a banger and I'd shot the ball.
Something's happening with
some people are working from home if they can effectively work from home. That started to kick in at Wahl. Do you know something, Gary? I said to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and it's really poignant. At the minute, you have to look very short term. I had a great conversation. I know he's watching tonight. Jim Shaw from Tony and Guy. Got something super happening with Jim in November. And I said to him, Jim, we can't look. If anybody says to me, what's your 5-year plan? Fuck it, no one's got one at the minute. You've got an overall strategic plan that you've all been working. But at the minute, that's on hold. And you're working on short-term facilities. You're working from now till the end of the year. And then you're going to look at when you get into November, December, you can look at January, February, March. So look, there's no long-term plan. Things are, we thank everybody at Wahl for everybody who's supported us through these times. And hopefully we've supported the barber and hairdressing industry with some great products. You've all done well with it in terms of, everybody who's gone back on 4th of July has done well. It's going to be a tough time. I know some schools I know my partner's kids have. School shut down again for 2 weeks. Somebody got an outbreak of it. I think it was Headmaster. I think he wanted there's some special holidays in Turkey at minute, some special offers. So I thought, I'm going to do a Boris. I'm going to pretend I've got COVID. I'll be an hero and have 2 weeks in there. But Gaz, you know, is this a particular time where all apprentices start with their training provider round about now, or is it go back a bit?
It's kind of what's held us back a little bit was all the funny end to school because of grades. We've been really struggling to get hold of grades up for certain kids that are coming in. I mean, we have all our apprentices in place months and months in advance because we trial our guys. They're Saturday lads first, and then they come in. But we train a lot of apprentices for other companies as well. So we've had no problem in interest. In fact, we've had record interest in apprentices this year, which is really good to see because of all the doom and gloom that we've got throughout the industry. I don't know if you saw a piece in HJ at the moment. Give you some statistics on how people feel, and the NHBF, they showed, I mean, their survey, something like 40% of people thought they wouldn't be in the industry in 6 months' time. I mean, that's quite frightening, isn't it? But from that, you know, from an apprenticeship point of view, we've had record numbers come through the door and interest as well. So it's just getting those guys on the board. Obviously, there's some incentive at the moment by government. If you take on an apprentice, they're trying to help us as well. But you know, all said and good, you know, we're doing all right. So we're looking forward to welcoming them all back into the school.
Well, tonight's guest, Bill, he came from his past business that he had was a big training provider. So it'd be nice to chat to Bill about training tonight, where he thinks it was when he were doing it to where he thinks it is today. I know you speak to him quite a lot. You sit on lots of councils and lots of meetings together. I just think you go to London for a fucking jollies, if you want me to be honest with you, but that's always been the case. I used to, growing up, you know, I can't wait to speak to Bill tonight. Growing up, you see, listen, I used to watch him as a young aspiring hairdresser. I used to watch him get up and he'd be off on trains to London. I think, oh, I fucking love to do that. And then when you've done it, you think, whoa, you're the right jollies, Bill. This is lovely, this, sitting on nice first-class train tickets. Sat in buff. Bill taught me, I can't wait to speak to you. Bill taught me as well, you buy a standard ticket, but you go and eat in the restaurant. So you sit in first class. Oh, wait. The food was fantastic as well. Everything's trained for the restaurants. I used to phone him up, you know, and say, oh, I'm struggling. And he knew I'd be in London. It'd be about 5:45. And he's like, what are you struggling for? Why? What's the matter? I'm like, I don't know whether to have prawn cocktail, soup, or cockava. And him, are you fucking winding me up? Looking forward to it tonight, guys. It's going to be really, really good.
I tell you, I've got some happy memories with Bill. I mean, I know you've known him a lot longer and been part of the family, which I don't know if people know that, but we'll come on to that. I'm sure there'll be some stories there as well. But Bill, great giant in the industry. He's done it, had the T-shirt and been there. You know, he's had different companies. I mean, just a little bit of a spice of what he's been and what he's done. He's the current chair of the Hair Council, but he's been on the Hair Council for 25 years. He's been an active member on Habia's board and worked with Habia for 25 years. As you said, he had one of the biggest training providers, the Salon Group, in that area in Yorkshire since 1973. So, I mean, when did you join him? When did you join the company?
I joined in 85. 85.
Anyway. So he's been going about 12 years before you got to him. So, yeah. You know, he's done a lot. He's trained. He's had direct claim status on, you know, for apprentices. So he's been through all of it from the 70s right through the current. And, you know, he's somebody I think you can talk to and ask him anything. He's got a story about everything, but he's usually been through whatever you're going through as well. So, you know, he's one of those guys that if you ever need any help and he gives it so willingly, you know. So I think he's a great friend and, you know, he's a great fella, and I'm really chuffed he's come on the show, and I'm sure you've got a few bits and bobs to chip in.
Yeah,
as well.
Looking forward to it tonight. We'll chat and reminisce, and it'd be great to get him on. When you say he's gone through a lot of things that we've gone through, we hope he didn't go through what I did last night. Fuck me. Anyway, woo! I'm on.
Anyway, drinking.
I'm on me tough nut. Rick Roberts is in the house as well, and I think Rick's had a special tough nut sent to him by Jackie. You know, Jackie sent me a message, and this is a true story. This, we're on about trains. I'm going to London. She's going to London. I don't know if it's saying me, you know, or not. Jackie messaged me, but I gets my train ticket. I gets on at Wakey, or I forget. She got at Donny. We were actually sat next to each other. We booked his tickets completely separate. We didn't even know. And I'm going to London. She's going to London. What's the odds of that? Anyway, we ended up getting ballots before we got to his meeting, which is normally good. Hold on a minute. Slow down. Episode 25. Can't keep up with you. I looks very sophisticated.
I've got a bit of a problem. I've had a bit of a problem this week. I've got 2 hands and 1 mouth. So I'm on the Newcastle Brown and the Jackie Special. I don't know if she thought I'd gone a bit strange or what, but she got me.
Well,
she got me
look, been getting a bit of stick off people, guys, about my short measures. So this is a nice, strong measure to know. Yeah.
Jackie, I don't know what you're trying to do with that, but that will kill me. That will by the time. Punch.
Oh, I've got tough nut moonshine. I've got Planters peanuts. We've got Desperado. Woo! It's getting hot.
I know. It's just talking about Jackie and trains. We've had a few train journeys ourselves, but I put Jackie. Obviously, we live in different parts of the country, but when we've been into London and we've had a few sherbets, there was one particular time that I didn't think she'd make it home, and she was supposed to be looking after me because I'm supposed to be the lightweight. But Jackie Holian, I actually love this lady. She looks after his mother as to death, but we even had to phone Ross to make sure she got home all right.
Well, I handed her into Lost and Found at one point in King's Cross. I'm not wearing this all the way back to Doncaster. Guys, if you want to follow us before we start with our main guest tonight, just a few little housekeepings that we want to do. You can follow us on all the usual sites as well, which is thebarbersarms.co.uk. On our Instagrams, Gaz is at The British Barber, Simon Shaw Wahl, and at Barbers_arms. The Barber's Arms email is barbersarms@britishbarbers.com for all the information. We're going to be a local hero if you want some more information. Guys, this is it. Tonight, we're going to tell you all about this. On the 29th and 30th of November this year, 2020. Exhibitions have not happened this year, but we have got the very, very best coming up to you. We've got our virtual trade show, guys, in the end of November on 29th and 30th. It's too early to tell you some of the big brands, and I don't want anybody thinking, we aren't, because we have got some big names there. And I know we are one of them that's going to be standing there at the virtual trade show. Going to be some fantastic products available, some great discounts, and unbelievable education. Everybody who's going to be kind of working on the exhibition and the trade show are going to form some form of education. So if you enjoyed the UK one and the global one, this is going to be even better. You're going to have a virtual exhibition room where you can go and ask the people on the stands questions. You can see their presenters using their products and their latest products, talking about them, and then you can purchase them as well. Tells you all here on the slide that we're showing you right now, but that's coming up on the 29th and 30th of November. I can't wait. Barber's Arms is just giving us lots of exciting stuff. Over 4.2 million of you have watched us during lockdown and after lockdown. Me and Gaz were speaking about this earlier. Respect, massive respect to you all who have joined us. And everybody I speak to in industry, you and Gaz are really great. It's great the show. Me and Gaz enjoy it much as you enjoy watching it. And without you watching it and the views afterwards, it don't make it the success that it's been. And so from both me and Gary, we have a massive thank you to you all. Over 4.2 million. Who would have thought it, Gaz? Who would have thought it?
I know. 25th episode, absolutely fantastic. Got 71,000 views last week. Keeps building all the time. Just mention that again. If anybody wants any information, go to thebarbersarms.co.uk. The 24-hour education event that we ran It's all up and live, all up and running now, so you can revisit that as well. And the virtual show, as you've just said. Any members out there join the BVA, you will get all this information straight to you. You'll get the digest, accreditation, and all the current news. So I think we're nearly ready for the legend, Mr. Bill Short, in the house, aren't we? I think he's due any time. I think he's just parking his car. He's just come from the caravan and he's just parking his car somewhere, I think.
Which car, though? It'd be a big one if it's Bill. Oh, the car. Yes.
Oh, I've got some story. I'm going to nail you out tonight on this, I tell you.
It's to go to Oakley's Man, and it was like going into, what they call it, what's that car show called? Top Gear. Going into the driveway of Bill's. Okay, now. It was
Mr. Bill Shaw.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay, my friend. How are you?
Very well. Better for seeing you. You're looking well.
In fact, if I were any better, I probably wouldn't be able to stand it.
I've got an acquaintance of yours in.
Say again.
Hiya, Billy.
I think you know this other bloke, don't you? That's on screen with us, Bill, just slightly.
Yeah, a little bit. It was quite funny last week when he said he'd got some stories to tell, and I thought, oh, we really don't want to go down that road.
Well, there's a few. Let's just see what kind of game it's going to be. There'll be a few ones, and obviously bear in mind how many people watch.
I'm that sad bloke that just remembers everything.
What? So how's it going, Billy?
Billy.
All right. Yeah. Good. Yeah. No complaints. Finally got the website opened up and running. So that should clear me 2 or 3 hours every other day.
Fantastic. So you're speaking to us now from. Are you still in Yorkshire? You're still near Barnsley, are you?
No. I'm in a place called Carewood, which is between York and Selby.
All right. This is your holiday home. This is where all the rich and famous.
Well, but it's my forever home now because we're here all the time.
Oh, fantastic!
Do you miss Barnsley, Bill?
I don't, so because I've still got so many friends there. I still see them. I still talk to them. So not in that respect. In terms of not living in Barnsley, no, I don't really miss that. It's so, I mean, if you think about the 15-week lockdown, well, not lockdown, but when I was shielding, it was just so nice to be here and be able to walk out and stand on the decking and look at the lake, and I just fear that had I have been in Barnsley, I'd have gone mad.
Mm. Well,
we're all right. So all this.
We're all right, what's wrong with you? Get to bed, lads. So
this lockdown, all this malarkey, you've kept all right then, Bill, with Bernadette. She's well as well. Your beautiful wife.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, she's good. Yeah, she's got a bit of cold at the minute, but other than that, she's good.
Is Byrne your barmaid tonight, Billy?
You what?
Is Byrne doing your barmaid job?
No, it's do it yourself. I've got
drinking?
I've got some Timmy Taylor's landlord, and some Black Sheep Ale, both funnily enough from Machin in North Yorkshire. So yeah, good.
Nice local ones, guys. A bit like you. You like all that shit as well, don't you? You like all them IPAs and them ales and real stuff.
Listen, it's man's ale. That is proper stuff. It's in all that chemical stuff that you drink, you know.
Look, Billy, did you hear the little intro we were just saying where we were just talking about the weekly news that it came up about tonight? And I said, as a young hairdresser growing up and living up at Oakley's, I used to watch you get on trains to London. I used to think, I want to do this. I've got to travel the world. I've got to do this. And I've been very lucky with my career, and thanks to you and Byrne with the start I had in my career. But I then realised that when I go to London so much now, and sometimes if I don't catch a train, what a fucking jolly you had.
Yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it? It was most fun. It was most fun I ever had with my clothes on.
Do you know he taught me how to travel first class? You get a standard train ticket, and then you go to the restaurant cart and you sit in, and then you order your meal. And I remember he used to phone it up saying, "I've got a real problem here," and he'd go, "Why? What's the matter?" Like, "I want to fucking have prawn cocktail." So and bang, phone straight
they've stopped you doing it. They've stopped that game now, haven't they?
Yeah,
they've stopped that game.
I was just going to say, he's talking a long time. He's showing his age now, Bill. They stopped that a long time ago.
I mean, we laughed, but Bernadette and I laughed because she used to love going to London. But of course she did. She'd get off the train and go shopping. And I go to some bloody meeting and have to listen to a load of, you know better than me, Gary, a load of stuff. And then you'd meet up. She'd had a great day because she'd been shopping. And I were ready for committing suicide. Get me back home.
Well, Billy, before we start with the main questions tonight, obviously, as Gaz said, obviously I was your son-in-law for years and stuff, and I know a lot of people who are watching it know, but our global audience don't. But on the eve of my son and your grandson making his FA Cup debut tomorrow for York City on TV, will you be glued to BBC One at 3 o'clock tomorrow to watch your grandson play football?
I will. And not only will I won't be watching Barnsley either, which that's very unusual. I did wonder whether.
So you're still a big Barnsley fan then?
Yeah, I can't go anymore because I can't get it. I can't get into the ground. I can't get up the stairs to the stand. So in terms of physically, in terms of physically going to matches, them days have long gone. But I watch every game. If it's on, I follow, I watch it, and if it isn't, I just listen to it. In fact, we had to go for a flu jab. We had to go for a flu jab last Saturday, and I got my earphones in while I was stood waiting to have my flu jab, listening to the game. I said to Bernadette, "You shouldn't be organising these things for 3:25 on a Saturday afternoon. It's just not right."
Very inconsiderate of her.
But no,
I will saying I'm keeping him alive.
I will definitely be watching tomorrow for sure.
Did you see his goal last week?
Yeah, I saw it. You put it on Facebook and I saw it. It was a beauty, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we were at Brit's, your granddaughter's, on Saturday afternoon. Yeah. And I think main thing for us all, Gary, was him coming on, making his official big pro debut. So we were happy with that. And then to then when he scored his goal, it's all a bit surreal. I remember being in Spain once and watching him score a goal while we were watching it. But that for me last week were absolutely fantastic. So I was really pleased for him. As
you know, he came over here on Wednesday night and I said to him, and I do passionately believe that York City is a fantastic opportunity for him to shine, to grow. He doesn't have to sort of live in digs. Everything about it's just perfect. Yeah, and I think.
Yeah,
go on, Gaz.
He's had a big week, hasn't he? 21st
massive
debut goal, new car. What a week! Can't beat that.
No, he's and he had a super night on Wednesday doing my stock tech.
Well, hang on a minute. I had a conversation with him about this. So knowing him and knowing Bernadette, I guess the L did most of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, he did the humping and she did the writing.
Yeah.
By humping, of course, I mean lifting the boxes.
That's my kind of job, that is. I'll do the humping, you do the writing.
Hi guys, we're going to start with his interview then. Come on, we've done 10 minutes. We need to do our interview. You start it off, Gaz.
Right, Bill. I know you've been in the industry such a long time. You're well respected. You've done everything. As I gave you your intro, you've whipped you're current chair of the Hair Council, which I won't bring up in a minute as well. How do you think the industry is at the moment? You've got the finger on the pulse. You're back in it. I know we're going to give you an opportunity in a minute for your new venture. But what do you think the current state of the industry is, and how COVID's affected us, and where we're going?
I think business is quite tough at the moment. I think it was really difficult for everybody to come, everybody that works in the salons, that is, you know, that had an enforced holiday for 13, 14 weeks. They were desperate to come back. Then they came back, and that was a bit of a shock. The salons were really, really busy for the first 4 or 5 weeks. And they've then gone to, I mean, we've got to wait for the client's hair to grow again, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
But I
think from a barbering point of view, I think we've been hurt by being off so long. People almost got used to not having the haircut, or there was those people out there who were doing kitchen haircuts, which is going to hurt us for even longer, because people are still having haircuts. You know, I think it's wrong. I don't think people should be doing it, but you know, from a professional point of view, you can't control people cutting hair at home. But I think it's going to hurt us longer than we realise, to be honest, and it'll be a long time before we're back to normal. I think we're working at about 80%.
The annoying thing, Gary, the annoying thing in terms of the home hairdressing is we'd kind of moved on from that. Okay, we know that 57% of the industry are chair renters and da-da-da-da, but at least they're accountable, they're visible, you know what they're doing and you know where they're doing it. And I thought that was a really good place to be compared with the home hairdressers. But you're right, we've probably put the clock back 10 years.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think I do think it's been a real testing time, and you know, looking, all three of us have been in them rooms and built. You know what you showed me, how many business seminars we sat on. There was with the recession comes opportunities and also casualties, and I think that this, you know, I'll say, you know, I'm not shy of saying anything on this show, but you know, a lot of shit that's out there, and a lot of the barbers who and hairdressers who people moan about. Hopefully that this will sort them out, because they're not paid the proper tax, the VAT, so they're not got out of government. They're on the fucking ass. They've been doing all hairdressing at home, you twats. So hopefully it wipes a lot of this shit out, and the strong will survive, and we can all move forward with a better industry. Yeah, without a doubt. You know, I mean, I've been through 3 recessions. We opened the Barnsley Salon in 1973 in May, and then in September we had the 3-day week. And you know, we've not even got started.
The thing is, Bill, as well, I think this is a bit different. Our industry's been quite, if I dare say, recession proof in the past, hasn't it? You know, if things are tight, people will go have a haircut, they'll have their nails done, or whatever it is, because it makes you feel better, and they'll always have that little bit of money to go out or have a beer or whatever. The difference with this time is people have got nowhere to go. Weddings are off, you know, all the family parties are off. People have got a habit of not going out. And I think this is a different kind of effect on us. You know, it might be something that affects us in a different way, because all the trends have gone out the window. Our Saturdays now are like a Tuesday afternoon. You know what I mean? It's literally the way we are working at the moment. And I'm just still trying to get my head around whereabouts we actually sit and what we're doing. Obviously, most barbers have had to go to appointments. That's a big change. So, but it's one of those times where you can't look back in your little book. You know, I've been in the job 36, not quite as long as you, but 36 years. And there was always an answer in those books I could look back on, trends-wise, you know, what was happening, what was happening in the... That you can't go back and look at anything like that for this, because it's never happened before, has it?
It's just completely uncharted waters.
Yeah, definitely.
Look,
listen,
we've gone on about it, but it has been tough, but you've got to move forward.
Anyway,
well, you can't. There's no point. Cheers, my friend. Cheers, boys. There's no point. There's no point focusing too heavily on things you can't change, is there?
I mean, just while we're doing this, Bill, I know you're a bit of a lightweight, so me and Gaz will just have a usual...
Yeah, definitely.
By our moonshine sponsors, O'Donnell's. Little moonshine, Gaz. You drink it out of bottle, there's something wrong with you. You're fucking weird with that shit.
Well, as you know, I don't drink as a rule. It's more of a habit.
Little shot in between. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm getting paid to drink. Anyway. And I'm an athlete.
Jack, can I just say, that is horrible. And I'm drinking it out of sheer love for you. Because don't buy me that again. It is the nastiest moonshine I've ever had in my life.
Jackie, I love mine, so keep sending me the tough note, darling. Don't worry about what Gary tells you to do with this stuff. Right, moving on. Billy, got some questions that we want to ask you.
Okay.
We have lots of views. Just before we start this, I'd just like to say to everybody as well, don't forget to follow us on my Instagram, which is Simon Shaw Wahl. Gaz is the British barber, and then we have the Barbers_arms. If you want to email us, barbersarms@britishbarbers.com, and also as well, go on our website, thebarbersarms.co.uk. That's where you'll find out about our fantastic exhibition, which is coming up on the 29th and 30th of November. Never been done before. We're going to fetch you the best stands and the best education that you've ever seen on a virtual trade show, guys. We've got some real top brands already. Next week, we're going to be able to share some of those once the contracts are through with those guys. But we've got some real cool brands coming on board for this with some education. So we're really excited at the Arms to fetch this to you. And as usual, me and Gaz will finish off both 29th and the 30th with some beers in the Barbers' Arms to talk to everybody about their days at the exhibition. Joining us, we've got Bill Shaw, MBE, Director of Dimensions and Salon Safety Plus. So, Bill, coming on some questions. Here we go. So, in your own words, what would be the highlight of your illustrious career? What's the main thing that you could really look back at and think, do you know what, if I could really go back and turn the clock back, I'd like to just sit there, not change up, but sit there and relive that part again, because that was the best part of my career.
It has to be going to Book House to get the MBE, to be fair. You know, and even that was an odd situation because there were like 60, 70 of us in the room, and you get chatting to people, and some of them, like they've been doctors putting people back together again in Afghanistan, and you can't help but sit and think, what am I doing here?
And
fantastic.
Can you remember much of that day? How many years ago is it you've had?
It was 2012. It's quite funny, really, because the letter arrived and Bernadette and I were in Spain, and Pat, you know, my sister-in-law, said there's a letter in. I think, you know, I think you need to know what's in it. I said, well, open it and tell me. And it was the letter offering the EP. And this was on a Saturday morning. It actually had to be signed, accepted and back by Wednesday, and we were in Spain. So Stephen, Burnet's brother, who thinks he's a secret agent anyway, we got him on a plane to bring the letter over, and we signed it, and he went back on the Monday night, posted it on the Tuesday. So even at that stage, and then the other funny story, you'll find it funny because you know the person involved, the lady that has the post office on Huddersfield Road, Pat went in to buy some London Gazettes, and she said to her, what's he got then? So I said, what are you on about? She says, the only people that buy the London Gazette are them that seen what they've been awarded. And that were quite amusing as well. You know, you think he knows his stuff. But yeah, I would say that at the other end of the scale, probably the thing that I'm most proud of is, you know, part of the training business, we developed these 10 academies in secondary schools, where each year there were 400 or 500 young people that got an MVQ level 1, not the best qualification or the highest qualification in the world, but for an awful lot of them, it was all they actually left school with. And when you did the little presentation in the classroom and the parents come along and you could see the parents had tears in their eyes, that was so powerful. And that's really the other end of the scale, isn't it?
So we've got some questions coming in, Bill, from people who's watching as well. what did you receive your MBE for?
Services to hairdressing in Yorkshire.
In Yorkshire?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic. Bill, when you were away down in London, did you get much dancing in?
I don't. I'm not a bad dancer for a fat lad.
Whoa!
But,
What?
Gary, have I got a story then? Dancing, yeah. Like dancing. Right, he'll know this one. Listen this. In a lot, I've been telling it because it's funny, and I'm sure Bernadette, everybody involved will know anyway. So I'm doing some seminars in Goldwell, a bit like when he used to go to meetings and Bernadette used to do shopping. I was doing some seminars at Gold's Academy, working my knackers off. Billy been to some meetings, and then he'd be shifting off with Ray Roberts and drinking some fine champagne somewhere on a rooftop bar. Anyway, we get out afterwards, and he says, "Oh, we're going for some food tonight." And we go to this little fish restaurant called Bentley's. Anyway, Goldwell picks the bill up. There's about 7 or 8 of us. So I say to Bill, we should have paid for that. Like, now let him pay for it. Come on, we'll go for some drinks, and I'll pay for the drinks. Yeah? So, remember him in Soho, we go to this little bar called the Windmill. So, do we like dancing? Of course we do. It's a lap dancing bar. We're in there. Everybody knows about it. We're not having private dances. We're in a big, big bar. So, we're all having drinks. We've had a great time. Everything's in good order. There's Ray Roberts there. There's Mitch Lucas there. There's loads of us there. And I says to Billy, I'll get the drinks because they got the meal. Yes. I got the bar bill and it was 436 quid and I paid on an American Express. And as I did it, when it's tinged, I think, how am I going to fucking explain that one when Bill comes in because she reads everything? Windmill dancing. Oh, your dad likes dancing.
No, he did what he always did and blamed me.
Oh, does he like dancing?
Dearie me. Well, that same night there was a girl came talking to me and she said, after a while she said, "Oh, it's £40 an hour to talk to me." So I said, "That's not a problem, love. It's £60 an hour to talk to me, but I'll cut your hair while we're talking." She didn't hang about long, funnily enough.
Brilliant. What a great story. Bill, before we go on to Simon comes on to his other questions that we always ask can I just bring you on to your connection to the Hair Council and the Barber Council, because I know you're very passionate about this. And I want to bring because I've worked with you on this for a number of years. You've gone through Sally Styles registrar. We now got Keith Coniford. You're the current chair of the Hair Council as well, and
before Sally, there was John Byrne. I don't know if you remember John.
Yeah, of course, John Byrne. But I know what I think. I think this is exactly the right time for us to push for this. I think there's no better time. If we don't get it now, we never will do.
Gary, there'll never be a better time. And I've probably got 400 or 500 hairdressers on my Facebook page. It's not been planned. It's just happened. And what really gives me inspiration is when somebody talks about registration. If you go back 2-3 years, everybody was not that complimentary, really, and they had some not very nice things to say. What fascinates me now is that 95% of the comments that come are very positive, and they all say this is exactly what the industry needs right now. The one thing about Hair Council, it is the only organisation in our industry that actually represents everybody.
Yeah.
Where the other membership organisations, they represent their members, but the council is made up of all them different organisations. So we're better to have the register, which is why we've got it. I think we've got to carry on the fight to try and get it mandatory. But in the meantime, we've just got to keep banging the drum and getting the voluntary register bigger and bigger and bigger, and then we get listened to. And know as well as I do, the information that has come over the last 6 months, the information that's been shared by the council is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, when I first got in, when I was first registered with the council, 97 I first registered. I've been a member. And it was because I wanted to belong. It was a professional body that I thought was important. And I can remember back then there was 20, 30, 35,000 on the register at that time.
Yeah.
Then we dropped off a bit, and I think the lowest we went to was around 9 or 10, wasn't it? Something like that. And then we're on the way up again. And I think we've had a new resurgence. And I think, people need to understand it's not for any other reason but for the good of the industry. No other reason.
And I think Keith, and I'm not saying this because I suggested him, but Keith's done a fantastic job. He's got a wonderful personality. He can mix with people at every level, and that's so important as well. He doesn't let the managing director of Weller phase him, but nor does he let the hairdresser from Bognor Regis phase him either. And that's a really strong trait, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the success as well that brings that is, your contacts, your industry standing as well. You've been in the industry. I don't think people can come into it and just be like that and not be part of the industry either. I know it takes a long time to get those contacts and to network as well. So hats off to Keith, and we're going in the right direction.
I think we just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and just get that membership up. It's important for the industry. Forget whether it's good for council. Forget whether it's good for me as chair, you as a council. Forget that. It's what is right for the industry. Very independent, very impartial. With the other organisations, of course, they're partial. It's a business to them. Whereas with council, it's not. It's nobody's business. It's our organisation.
And we've got stakeholders from all those other organisations on the council. So that's the whole point of it, isn't it, as well?
It is, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt.
It's that transparency. Fantastic.
Jackie's saying hello to you, Bill.
Who?
Jackie Olean. She's saying hello.
Oh, hi, Jackie.
Yeah. She can hear you. She says first time she met you, she had a ponytail.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember going to that school.
No, I think you had a ponytail, Bill.
Oh, I had a ponytail. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah.
He had a ponytail. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill, just cut some questions because we're really running out of time, which is great. And I'm not bothered about the schedule here, guys. I've got everybody sending me messages saying move on. What would you have been if you wouldn't have chose the hairdressing path in 73 with majors and you would have opened Dimensions and the rest is history? If you wouldn't have done that, where do you think your career would have gone? What would you have done?
A policeman.
A policeman?
Yeah.
A Bobby?
Yeah. A Bobby.
Dirty bastard. So for all you people in Barnsley, he's still from Barnsley and here you go, Bobby.
Just quickly, Bill, have you still got any connection with Barnsley Football Club?
No, not since we sponsored it. No, I mean, we sponsored it for about 10 years, started off with the academy, then we did the stand, but no. And it's interesting because the minute you're not writing the checks out, you become an owl. Well, I think that's what they mean. They keep saying, Bill, who?
Well, I think since they released his grandson as well, we fucked him off big time as well. So.
Just quickly though, but when you were a sponsor there and you used to sit on the top table because you were a sponsor and you used to take Simon with you, what was a memorable night there for when you were there, when you were telling me about?
Well, they were all memorable nights, and although we both sat on the top table, they never let us sit together. I don't really understand that, but maybe I do. And they had this fantastic compere. Simon will remember him, a guy called Malcolm Lord. And as is your one, he would have a go at everybody on the top table. So when it was my turn, he shared with the audience that my favourite musical instrument at school was the dinner bell. Perfectly true. But then it came to Simon. He said the best thing I can say about Simon is if you lent him £100 and never saw him again, what an investment.
Oh dear. Can you remember when the guy walked in front of the top table though, and Steve Rhodes were walking behind him, and he said, "Excuse me, sir, if you've just been for a shit, I think it's following you."
They were good nights, weren't they?
Memorable nights,
Good
really good nights. Bill, what would you look? I know you said about the MBE. A lot of people abroad, Christians are coming in. What does MBE stand for?
Member of the British Empire.
There you go, everybody. So when you're watching this and listening to this on our podcast, you'll know exactly what that means. But look, we've spoke about that's your memorable pie. But what's the most memorable thing that you would think about in hairdressing? What's the, dimensions and trend? What's the most memorable hairdressing thing that's happened?
I think opening the. I always had a passion because I started hairdressing at 14 when I was still at school, going to what they used to call junior induction courses, and I always had a passion about getting young people into hairdressing early. So when we managed to get the contracts to open the 10 in-school academies where we were basically delivering to years 4 and 5, then that was massive. I probably got more out of that than I did having 200 or 300 or 400 apprentices that we were training, because to be honest, those young people in years 4 and 5, they were next year apprentices. And if you could get them early enough, and for a lot of them, they'd had a pretty rough ride, to be fair. So to give them, and you used to watch them shine, and it was just inspiring to watch, to just watch them doing something at last that they thoroughly enjoyed. And that's.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Bill? I think we still get that same feeling. To take somebody like that who's had a bit of a rough time, not achieved what they should have done in school, and then give them a great career. That's what it's all about, mate.
It's massive. It's massive. It's worth more than money.
Fantastic.
I think I'll be the biggest name out of Dimensions training then that's gone to fucking right to the topic we're talking about.
Oh, without a doubt. But cream always goes to the top, don't it?
Exactly. I always say to guys, class, there's no substitute for class, and cream always rises to the top. It's amazing, I speak to Rob Eaton a lot, and when he won British Hairdresser Year last year, he was sat right next to me. As soon as he won it, I was really amazed. And look at Barnsley, what it's produced. Andrew Barton, Robert Eaton, myself, who have gone on to work for a brand, okay, but I do travel the world globally, and I'm very proud of what I've achieved. And a lot of us have come from those. I had a great upbringing, but humble backgrounds. But when we went to Dimensions, I can remember the first kit I got, hairdryer, Denman brushes, all with Dimensions logos. You felt part of something,
Yeah.
Felt part of something. It's good. Bill, I don't know if you've been watching Barbers Arms. I know you have, but
every episode. The only one I didn't do was the 24-hour global, because to be honest, watching people do haircuts bores me shitless these days.
Yeah. Well, all our global education is very exciting. So it's still available on our archive website, despite what Bill.MBE says about it. It's very exciting. Bill, look, I've mentioned this all the way through, and I'm no, it don't matter to me. I'll say it as it is. I've said on various shows, my grounding came from where Dimensions. Bernadette, yourself. So moving on with your career, you never forget where you come from. Do you know what I mean? So I think what you've just said there about what you've done is, Gary, we've spoke about this loads of times, haven't we, about your training and stuff. Yeah. You never forget that foundation if it's really good. Ever. You never forget it. And do you know what? Some of them techniques I learned then and them days, I still use today. And you'll know the stuff that we went into meetings and the presentation stuff. That's made me who I am today. So people are listening, people who watch the show back, people who listen to the podcast. I've always said to everybody, it's never forget your humble beginnings and your strong foundation training. Use that and move it forward.
It's what makes you what you are. It's what makes you what you are, Simon. you know, it's a very, 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 very long time ago. Most of the people listening will have never heard of it, but, you know, we went and did training. John and I went and did training at Allen International. Now, who's heard of Allen International? But, you know, I still remember people like Simon Forbes, God bless him, who's no longer with us, who just taught me great hairdressing.
Yeah, well, I remember Simon really well and Allen International.
Bill, just before we've got questions coming in, just before we get on to the final questions, Alison Russo, she asked, what was your favourite haircut of all time? What was your favourite to actually do when you...
A wedge.
Yeah. Did Simon have one?
Oh, listen.
No, not recently.
But he fucking passed the customer on to me so long, who used to have a wedge, and he used to spend hours doing the sections, pulling them all down so symmetrically neat. And then the business moved on and on and on. We had officers and everything, and one phone call one Friday, you're going to have to fit so long and you're going to have to do it. I'm not that strong on wedges. We did it in training, but there's not many people at it. So you weren't in practice when he were doing it. Every other client were a wedge. So
whether they wanted it or not.
Looking at the sides. Honestly, I was about an hour and a half behind that day with
well, I've got some good news for you, Simon.
Yes.
So Long still comes in.
No.
Yep.
Wow. Fantastic. Bless her. I remember.
She's still at wedge.
No, not now.
You don't probably be able to do the wedge, but I'd always struggle with it. Bill, moving on, because I know I'm getting loads of hassle here for time and Gaz's cocktails. Beckoning everybody. Gaz is going to fetch his cocktail up in about 3 or 4 minutes. He's got Bill's favourite cocktail to share with you tonight. Normally, if we've got a European or a global visitor on, he'll do a cocktail of their choice, but he's got Bill's favourite cocktail tonight. Before we move on to our quick fire questions, Bill, you've done lots of stuff in your career. You know how much I think about you, and Gaz as well as a mate in the industry later on in your career when you've met Gary. What's the next thing for Bill Shaw? What's happening in the winter of your career? What's the new project that you've got coming up?
The new project is a business supplying salons and hairdressers with PPE, personal protective equipment. It's really odd how it happened. You know, Tina runs a salon and Carl runs a salon. And during the lockdown, I got the job of getting all the PPE for them for when they reopened on the 4th of July. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. There were nowhere that you could go and get all the things that you needed. So you'd be buying a bit here and a bit. And you know me as well as I know me, that just triggers something off in Bill's mind and thinks there's an opportunity here. So that's what we've done. We've set up a business called Salon Safety Plus. It's an online situation. The website was unlocked at 5 o'clock today, so that's now there, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's given me an opportunity. We'd been involved in products and import, export, cash and carries, you name it. So it's kind of towards the end of my career, has given me an opportunity to use all the things that I've learned over the last 50 years and put them into this project.
You know, I have to say this here because I don't speak to you that often now these days, but, you know, when I travel globally, and especially if I'm at Bologna, which I built last 20 years, Wahl are obviously a global company. We have these big, amazing stands, but I go on walkabout. I look at my schedule and think, right, I'm going to have a few Peronis in Bologna. I'll go missing. But I'll go see people like Anna Kreitzberg.
Yeah.
That I'm doing out with him. But it's that respect of what we had.
Yeah.
And, you know, what you just said there, all the years of experience, you know, so much that I learned over the years. But there's lots of people I see that we used to deal with. I just go speak to them and we talk about old time. It's just respect. It's just you're growing up. And, you know, I never thought when I was meeting them at that point when me, you and Carl drove through Germany, freezing cold, and we had, if it were Carl's turn to drive, he'd have all fucking heaters off, selfish bastard. And me and you freezing.
Checking like a dog having a, yeah.
And now, you know, but, you know, I won't swap those times at that time now because I'm lucky to stay in beautiful hotels and travel the world. But those make you respect what you've got now to what you had then. It fucking made you like respect everything, and I'm really pleased with that. So, you know, it's good, Gaz. Gaz, I know you've had a bit of a sideshow tonight. Me and Bill's been reminiscing about our old times together, and I know you two do. I've really looked forward to this interview. We finish off with some quick fire questions, Bill, as we do on Barber's Arms. Go on. Feel free to ask them as you do. Here we go. What's your favourite food?
This will be quite odd for you because I could probably ask you these questions about me and you could probably answer them. Curry, always a curry.
Well, do you know something? I've written these down secretly to see if I could match them up. What's your favourite drink?
Beer.
Favourite destination that you would travel to?
It would be Spain.
Me and Bill love the same place in Spain, by the way. You told me where to go. Do you know I still go there, Bill? 3 or 4 times
I know. My problem is I can't fly, so we're not going to be going anytime soon. But we're on about perhaps driving over next year.
Well, I know that I would be in that area at that time, so we need to make sure we can have a drink down there. What's your favourite music, Billy?
That's an odd one. Probably Peter Kay's Car Share, and that's because it's such a mix. Is Gazzy laughing at me?
Yeah. No, I love it, mate. I love Peter Kay and I love Car Share. He's brilliant.
It's just great music, isn't it? You know, and he probably picks it all himself, the clever fella.
Have you been to a Wahl show lately? It's very cheesy music.
All right.
Bill, who would be your ideal dinner date?
I'd probably be greedy on this one, Simon, and say it would be Boris's 6. I would want 5 people with me. There's no rocket science to it. I've said many times, I've been so lucky in my career, the people that I've met and worked with. So the people I would want to sit round a dinner table with would be John Major, who started Dimensions with me in '73. I would also want a guy called Keith. You know all these people. So a guy called Keith Walker, who was National Technical Manager at L'Oreal, who in 1973 helped me do my model for the L'Oreal Colour Trophy. We've been lifelong friends. Alan Goldsborough, who was Chief Exec of Habia. Ray Roberts, who has had such an influence in my life. I mean, when my dad passed away, he became a bit of a surrogate father. And last but by no means least, and I know you take the piss out of people who say this, but it would be Bernadette, because she's had such a massive influence on my career. So they're the 5 people plus me, Morris's gang of 6, and that's who I would want to have dinner with, and it would be a very, very happy night.
Well, I'm fucking really disappointed I didn't make the cut, but here we are, guys, on Barber's Arms, Bill Shaw, MBE, Director of Dimensions, and Salon Safety Plus. You can have a link on our website. If you go to the barbersarms.co.uk, there will be a link for the Salon Plus, Salon Safety Plus website will be on the Barber's Arms link as well, so you can go and have a look at Bill's new products. Trust me, the visors are the best I've seen. Bill's having a nice curry. He's having a nice beer with his curry, and he's sat in his favourite destination in Belmedina Pueblo. He's having his music that he's listening to in the background would be Car Share soundtracks, and he will be sat there with John Majors, his first partner, Keith Walker, Alan Goldsborough, the amazing Ray Roberts, and his beautiful wife, Bernadette. Bill Shaw, MBE, thanks for having us. Well, thank you for being on Barber's Arms from me and Gaz.
Can I just say, Simon, can I just say one thing? I just want to say kudos to you guys and your production team for what you've created. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Well done.
Bill, it's always a pleasure. I hope to see you soon in different meetings that we go into, and you know we'll keep in touch as usual. I'm sure we'll be using the company as well from Rogers Barbers and RB Training. So, mate, it's been a pleasure. Always love having a drink with you. Not enough, but love your company, but not your hours. See you later,
enjoy.
See you, Bill. Bye.
Bye.
Well, we always say it, but another lovely. Good Al.
That's the longest interview we've done. So, Mr. Machin, it's PI.
It's that time.
What's happening? I know, for everybody who's going to watch this, this is probably one of my favourite cocktails of all time that you're going to do tonight.
Well, hopefully I do it justice anyway, because what we're going to do tonight is I asked Bill what he likes, and I know he loves beer, but he says if I do like a cocktail, I love a whiskey sour. So I've drunk a few of these myself as well, and I know you love them as well. So we're going to do a whiskey sour. So we've got our jigger, we've got our shaker. I've got all my measurements here. So the main ingredients. So this is going to be a special one. This is so. By the way, don't you need back row tonight? Are you feeling all right?
Well, I am, but I'm intrigued as well because it's one of my favourite drinks.
All right.
How are you going to do it? I might have to watch it tomorrow though, guys, because I do want to pee.
Right, so we've got a good bourbon. So we've got 2 ounces of bourbon, which is a double shot. So that goes straight into our shaker. So 2 ounces or about 60 ml, whatever you're going to use. Then we need some freshly squeezed lemon juice, sorry. So we've got 1/4 ounce in there. So I like a little bit extra. So we're going to put that in there as well. Look like Benny Hill then across the screen, didn't it? Did everybody notice that? So again, put this straight in, mix it in. Then we've got some natural syrup. I use agave nectar, which is a natural sweetener. So little slug of that because we need the sweetness. And then, would you believe, beautiful barmaid's already sorted this out for me. We've got our egg white. So that goes in, straight in, and we shake this. We dry shake this first before. So we just shake this up every time. So what we're doing with this is we're just agitating it. So it all mixes up. We're fluffing the egg white in there as well at the same time. Remember, it's just keep an eye on the mixture. Can you see that? Can you see how it's gone all frothy on the top? A little bit more. So we've just got the froth coming now. You got to be quick or else you'll lose that. So we're going to put some ice in, which I've already put some ice in there. And we've got our cocktail glass. So we put the shaker back on. And we just give it the final. And this is going to cool it. What we want to do is just about, you can see how it frothies on the top. And you can feel the temperature on your hand. So there we go. So we take that off. We're not going to use a strainer because we're going to use, and you can see we've got our cocktail glass. You see how we pour that in. But what we're going to do there, can I just have the strainer, Rich, please?
Is it nice, guys?
Oh, it's going to be beautiful, this is, mate. Have we got a spoon? Oh, Rachel's failed here. She's, what's happening? So we're just going to... I'm just going to strain the rest of the liquor off because I just want some of the froth on top of this, because this is where the egg white comes. Oh, look at that, baby. That is beautiful. And so we've got a whiskey sour.
In one though.
What we need to finish is The secret ingredient, and I know not a lot of people don't like this, but it wouldn't be a whiskey. So you've got your Angostura, you've got it. Just what we want is 1, 2, 3. We just use a little, put a heart through that there. And I know you can't see the top, but there we have it. A whiskey sour with our bitters on top. How's that, baby?
Looks absolutely delightful, to be fair. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, baby.
I hope everybody over the last 25 episodes have been taking note of your cocktails, because they've been absolutely superb, to be fair to you.
Honestly, I mean, I'm going to pass this. What was left in the shaker then, I'm going to pass to Rach, because she deserves every minute of it, because I love it. So there we have it, and that is probably one of my favourite cocktails, actually, because that's a bloke's drink, and it doesn't look too girly, but it tastes beautiful as well. Beautiful. Okay,
Gav, who's our first local hero?
So what we have on is we have Jay Kitso Byrne from Dughouse Barbershop in Sutton Coldfield. Are you there, Jay? Jay? Production? He's there. Jay, are you there? Hey, buddy. You got your audio on?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you, mate. Welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. You?
Oh, great, mate.
Hiya, Jay.
Hiya, who's that?
That's Simon.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Yeah,
you all right?
There you are.
Right. Jay, so what are you drinking? Have you got a drink on?
So the bar's open till 10, obviously. Just trying to keep up with all the rules that the government keep bringing into place. It's so stressful, so stressful.
So how's the barbershop going over after COVID? What's business like?
At the start, obviously, that COVID, and I noticed it's quite busy, but then there was a and obviously I booked it a few years, and obviously there's not.
Jay, you need to sit a little bit closer to your microphone. We're missing every other word, so can you get closer to your microphone?
Yeah, is that better?
That's a lot better, mate. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to Barbers Arms.
Hello. Hello.
Jay, you're a past winner of BBA Barber of the Year, and you've entered the competition quite. Are competitions important to your business, or is it something you just like doing?
To be honest, the BBA Barber of the Year was the first one I'd ever entered. I think I started my business probably 7 years ago, and with the stress and trying to keep my bar, then it sort of found its feet, and then I'm going to give myself a chance to get out there and to see how far I could take it. But I'd never really.
So where's your shop based, Jay?
Birmingham.
Peaky
Yeah,
Blinders area.
Yeah, that's the one.
Can we have a look around your shop?
I'm actually at the Doghouse in Wild Green. We're opening again in Digbeth. I'm here now, but it's actually a bar as well, so it's a bit difficult to walk around because it's open just in the office, like where the cameras are. Last time I was meant to be on the show, we had a police visit, so I had to cancel because they came at 9 o'clock when I was meant to be on. So it was a bit annoying.
True Peaky Blinder style, police are arriving.
Obviously,
yeah. So, Jay, did you do something different in lockdown as well? What happened in lockdown? What do you do different career-wise?
Well, I'm not very good at doing nothing, so I put myself out there for anything really. I ended up working in which was an experience, but it definitely made me it made me glad that I was a barber. Let's put it that way.
So for people who didn't get that, just say it again because we missed it. You worked in what? Sorry.
In Asda. I got a job in Asda. I went for a delivery job, just to get out there and keep my mind busy. Like I said, I'm not good at sitting around and doing nothing. So I think I did most of the jobs I could do. And then I wanted to get out, try and give something back.
Fair play, mate. Fair play to you. I love that.
So,
there's a few others that have done that. Luke Dolan did it. He went to work for Tesco. You know, a few others. You know, I take my hat off to you guys. Fair play. You've got good businesses. You've probably looked after all your staff and to make ends meet and to do something else, you did that. So well done, pal.
Thank you, man. Thank you. There's a lot of people that said, "Oh, I can't believe you're working as though." I was like, why? No. Job's a job. When you've got to pay, you know, you do anything to provide, and I think anybody that judges anybody that works, like, oh, I wasn't bothered at all.
So the grocer life isn't for you then, mate?
Not unfortunately. Yeah, all that manual labor, getting up at them. Like I said, we're quite blessed. The industry we are, we can so my shop opens a bit later than most, but that's just the way it is. Extra hours in bed.
How many shops have you got now, Jay?
There's only 2 now. There was we did have had sort of a partner breakdown and had to sort of get rid of it. And there was a couple of stores. I've noticed from 7 years ago, you need to be in a good location, and there was a couple that unless you're people wouldn't really pass it. When I stepped away, there was certain going on and certain not being the way that I wanted to do, and business starts going the way you want it. So I had to, make this and get rid of what was stressing me out.
Yeah, so Jay, it sounds not very good tonight, what's coming through on the live feed. So, Jay, just before you leave us, what's your favourite Wahl clipper?
Wahl clipper. I actually use the, I wonder if this is better. Is that, sorry, I think, right there. Is that better?
Yeah.
Well, the view's better. Let's see if the sound's better.
Yeah, so I actually use the original Wahl super taper with a fade blade on.
Cool.
Yeah, I went back to basics. I tried all the new clippers that are coming out, and I just found that the motor in the original super taper, I just preferred it. It's just a very sturdy clipper, and with a fade blade on it, it's unbelievable, to be fair.
Do you know, Gaz, and I'll say this, you did. Do you know the super taper clipper, the original one, the corded one?
Yeah.
Get all the fancy, the other stuff we've got.
Yeah.
That is a brand on its own. That one product is a multi-million-pound business on its own.
Well, I've been barbering a long time, and when I first started, that was the only clipper that you could really get and use. And I also worked for, he was about 65, been barbering all his life. He had the same super taper for about 30 years. He's obviously changed stuff and got new motors and cases, but he kept that clipper and it's still working today. Brilliant.
Do you know what? I think that's really important as well. What you start with, you kind of stay with. I've been in barbering 36 years. Was trained by my dad. He always used super tapers. He's been in it. He's 75 this time. He's been in the job 60 years. He's used super tapers all his life. I mean, as a company wide now, I bet we've got 100 pairs of super tapers because we provide all staff tools. And honestly, I wouldn't use anything else. Honestly, I mean, we have gone on to cordless, I will admit now.
For ease, when you're educating on a stage, or you need cordless. Like, let's be honest, the cords get in the way. So I've used the Magic Clipper. To be fair, Magic Clipper's my go-to for fading. I'd say for ease, really. I don't know what it is, but it just seems to fade a lot easier using a Magic Clipper.
It's a crunch blade. That blade is different on the Magic blade to any other blade. So when you put your line in, it crunches out the line a lot easier. So that's why a lot of barbers.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
You know, when you won the British Barber of the Year with the BBA,
yeah,
did it affect or change your career and the shop business?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the sort of the doors that opened after that, and with the education sides of it, I really enjoy educating people. I love giving back. I run a charity which trains young offenders, ex-offenders. We do like free courses, and we go into the prisons and teaching and educating. You get so much from it, and from winning that competition, it's like if I can do it, they can do it. You know what I mean? I think that sort of goes a long way. A lot of these young offenders, they feel like there's not a lot out there, not a lot of opportunity. So when they see somebody like me who's sort of made mistakes in the past, go on to do something like that, it gives them a lot of motivation.
Do you know what, Jay? You know, when you won Barber of the Year, do you know what really refreshed me and the attitude you had? Because when you first entered, you didn't win, obviously. Yeah. But when you came back the second year, the explanation you gave me when you were on stage, you said, "I picked me." You realise what's needed to win it, don't you? It's all about the model. It's about preparation. It's about doing it right. And people go into competitions thinking, "Yeah, I'm great. I can do this. I can do that." But it's all about the model. It's all about the preparation, isn't it? And your attitude on the second time round was completely different, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I realised my mistakes. I picked the right models in the second time I did it. So right models, right time. And I realised it was all about the look. So I went for a female model. And I think after that, a year later, somebody else came back with a female model. And it sort of like gave people the confidence to use a female. I mean, I've got loads of female customers. They want a short haircut, but they can't go to a hairdresser. But at the same time, they can't go to somebody who's just a barber. So in between that, I'd call myself a modern barber, which is the UK market now. You need to be able to hairdress, you need to be able to style, you need to be able to use scissors, you need to be able to do the lot. So it really helps, definitely.
Jay, what made you go into like young offenders and prison service to work with them? What kind of thought process behind that?
Well, I made a mistake many years ago, and I ended up getting into quite a lot of trouble. And instead of using that as a negative experience, okay, it was, but I wanted to turn that negative into a positive. So I decided to set up a project called the Reach Out Project, where I offer free training for young offenders, young homeless, anybody in a position where they're vulnerable, or anybody that really would benefit from it, because I do feel like there's not a lot of opportunity there and help. So it went really well. We got sponsored by quite a few brands like Aston and Fincher, Quartered Steels. They gave us a lot of equipment so we could deliver these courses for free. So it went really well. I was going into prisons, and then obviously this COVID situation has stopped us. So hopefully we can get back out there and deliver more courses and change a few lives.
And before we leave you, what about the flat top challenge that you did?
Which in the finals, smashed it, man. My Afro-Caribbean barbering, it's just as good as European. I've worked in like quite a lot of shops where I've sort of learnt off Afro-Caribbean barbers. So the flat top challenge, it's probably one of my strongest rounds, to be fair. Doesn't faze me.
Nice.
Well, you're an absolute gent. Thank you for giving us your time on a Friday night, this late hour.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to meet up with you, mate. We're due for a beer when all this madness is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you, mate.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, Simon.
Thanks, Jay. Well done, son.
Cheers,
keep up the good work, mate.
Cheers.
Good. Wow, guys. I mean, I cannot believe tonight the time has flown. It's like 9:20.
I know. And we've got now one of your all-stars, haven't we? Next, we've got the legendary, I mean, is Michael one of your longest serving, or he's been with you a long time, hasn't he?
I think he's probably he's either done a decade or he's not far off a decade of being with us 10 years. Michael, how long have you been with us?
Hello.
Hi, mate. How long
Welcome,
you been with us?
Michael. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, mate. Fantastic. Lovely looking barbershop there, mate. You're looking great. Are you gone blonde as well?
It's just a backdrop I found off another cool barber shop. It's not really mine. I just thought I'd put a backdrop in here as well.
Bollocks. It is his new shop. Now, let me just tell you something. I just want to say something about this young kid. This young kid won a competition with Wahl, and he always says it. And I have to really take note of this because Sam Campagna told me something last week when he first met me. He came up to me at an exhibition. He'd won the design. Did you win the design of a T-shirt?
A designer. Say that again.
Did you win a design of a T-shirt? Or I can't. The first time we ever met, what happened?
I won a MySpace competition that Wahl was doing. So that was it. Yeah. So I won a MySpace.
He won a MySpace competition. This young, energetic little Italian barber came up to me at Salon International, and he always tells a story that he was so motivated and so energetic around me, and I was like, yeah, all right. And I can't remember doing that, but and he'll know now when I'm at exhibitions.
Can I tell you how the story went?
Go on then, tell us.
I'll tell you how the story went. So yeah, I think I was like 16, 17. I was into my patterns and doing all of that, and so Wahl did a MySpace competition. You enter it. So I entered it and I won. I won a limited edition clipper, a T-shirt. I won a couple of things, and I was like, oh my god. And coming to Salon International with my dad. My dad's a hairdresser, and he used to always take me. My inspiration was watching Simon, watching the Wahl team, and I always wanted to meet Simon. And I was thinking, well, there's a chance there. He has just come off stage at Salon International. Was there on his phone. So he's got his phone like this in his hand. And I was like, I really actually felt I was only young. I was thinking, right, I really want to go introduce myself. Thinking the great way of is, hey, I'm Michael that won the Wahl MySpace competition. So I went up to him. I was like, excuse me, I'm Michael Damiano. I won the MySpace competition. And meanwhile, Simon's head is in his phone like this. And he goes, yeah, well done, mate.
So he says, now listen.
He didn't even look at me. He did not even look at me. His head is on his phone. He goes, yeah, well done, mate. Well done. And I was like, oh.
So this is a long, long time ago. Now he's traveled the world with me, and now he gets to a point where there's lots of people come up to him, and it's like, oh, I'm really struggling here. And I say, you got to speak to everybody, have your photograph done with everybody. And so it was a lesson learned. But let me tell you something. This young man came at that first instant with me. He actually then booked on a seminar with Wahl, not because he wanted to learn off us, because he wanted to get right in front of me to show me his talent. I remember taking him out for a meal with him and his partner at that time. And he developed there over 10, 11 years now. And things developed. We went to India in 2011. And we did Mumbai, Bangalore, we did Delhi, and we did Calcutta, where he got serial shits. But I was on stage at Bangalore, and I came off stage. I'd done my little bit, and I left him on his own. And that's the first time I realised, and I've said this to you, Michael, a few times. That's the first time I sat in the audience, 400 or 500 people there, and he held the audience, and he entertained them. And I thought, here we go. We've got a fucking global star here. And that is what it's all about. Finding somebody, getting him in, training him up, believing him, and then pushing him onto the main stages. And this young man's done it all. Afro Barber Hall of Famer, Wahl artistic team member, and a beautiful owner of the Image Barber in Bedford, which I'm sure we're going to get a look round now. Can we have a look round your beautiful shop?
Yeah. It's not Image Barber anymore, by the way. So I've got rid of that name. It's gone. It's now Damiano Hair. So
Damiano Hair. Sorry, yeah.
I've got a laptop here, so it's not on my phone. So I'll take you through a little wonder. There you go. There's the waiting area. So there's the entrance of the high street. You come in. You've got my green furniture around here. We've got porn on TV. Chairs. We've got the salon chairs.
So Michael, how many staff have you got there then? How many guys have you got working with you?
I've got 4 hairdressers and 4 barbers.
So you're you're not purely barbering. You do embrace the ladies' side of the work. So have you always done ladies? Or was your main business barbering?
So yeah, so I grew up in a family industry. My mum and dad were hairdressers, so I grew up pretty much in their hair salon. When I left school, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I didn't want to be a barber. I didn't want to be a hairdresser. I wasn't that great in my. Hang on, let me just put this back in. My grades at school, so I wasn't that great. So I ended up just following the family trade in hairdressing. And I started off in ladies' hair to begin with. I did about 8 weeks in college in a ladies' hair, and I hated it. I hated one bit of it because when you're a young man doing hairdressing, you think, oh, all these lovely ladies that we're going to do, but it wasn't. It was like going to a bingo hall and doing sets and perms and all the old ladies coming in. So it wasn't as glamorous as I thought it would be. Then I found a love for barbering. My mum and dad didn't do barbering. They didn't do gents hair in the salon. So it was something that I fell in love with. And when I was at school, I was just obsessed with art, drawings, all of that sort of stuff. So when I came to so I did my training in Luton College, and I came across, when I was doing my hairdressing class, I came across a barbering class, and one of the tutors was doing like a Tom and Jerry design at the back of someone's head. And that moment there, I was like, oh, wow, I want to do that. I can draw Tom and Jerry. I want to do that. I want to do that on people's heads. So that was the first thing that I loved, was the art form of it, was the design, the pattern work. That was something I really wanted to do. So I went into that, and then I worked in my mum and dad's hair salon, grew up there, and brought the barbering side involved in it as well, because obviously they didn't do any gents, they didn't advertise for that. And then and then we're cutting hair now 17 years I think.
So Michael, you do quite a few famous people's hairs as well, don't you? In your traveling in either Damiano or you travel out a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Just tell the viewers that's watching us as well, what's some of the secrets about being a successful barber and being consistent?
Okay, passion. Anything. If you are passionate about what you do, people will see it. When your clients will see how passionate you are. And I think as a client, you'd always want someone. It's like anything. If you're getting plumbing done or paint and decorating done, you always want someone that's passionate about their job, not doing it for money. So if you're having someone that's got a passion and really going to put their all into a haircut, that's the most important thing. So if you wake up tomorrow morning and you don't have the passion or drive to do barbering or do whatever, just quit. Just why waste your time? So,
I think that's admirable for from your point of view and from an owner, and I think it's a great trait to have as well. But how do you keep your staff motivated? Because remember, they're in it for the money as well as the passion. And they won't take a loss. I mean, I know this. We've got 40 staff, and it's very hard to keep them inspired still and have the passion. You've got to. How do you keep your staff going on a way of not being just a routine, not just a turnover of clients? You still need that balance of passion, but at the same time, we need to make money as well, don't we?
Of course, yeah. I mean, obviously, we're not going to sit here and cut hair for free. It is very hard to find a great team. I mean, I'm still trying to go through it right now. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this now. They've had staff let you down, especially barbers. Barbers now, they've work in shops, train, they get the clients, and then they'll piss off around the corner, get their own shops. It's happened to me. It's happened to me so many times. So to find people on your level with the same passion as well, very hard to find. So when you do find people that fall in love with hair, you don't want them to lose that drive, because it's so easy to lose your passion when you're in a shop. And it is hard to keep motivated, especially when you're a shop owner, or a leader, or a boss, or a manager, whatever people like to call themselves these days. It's hard for them to give the passion, but and to give the motivation, but no one's motivating them. I say to you all the time, Simon, when you do our team talks at Wahl, you inspire us so much. You can walk into Salon International and we're like, here we go again. We're going to do this good. And then Simon will do this big speech, and we've got these big balls. We're like, oh my God, and actually I'm going to smash it. And then I ask Simon, but who does that for you? Who inspires and motivates you? So it's hard to keep yourself motivated and your team. It's very hard to do. I mean, I don't even have the answer for that. I'm still trying now. Again, it is very difficult to find the ways how to be paying your staff. I think motivation is always like a percentage or giving them something to work for. Because I've had barbers before, they've come to work for me and they get a salary at the end of the week, whether they've done 20 haircuts or 2 haircuts, they still get the same amount of money. So you've got to give them a drive to the more haircuts they are doing, they are getting more money. So that's a drive for itself. So you think you're more eager. I know a lot of my hairdressers and barbers will stay open till late to get the extra people in because they know it's more money. So that's the drive itself. And some people just have the passion for making money as well, not just for cutting hair. They just got a passion for making money. So,
do you know what? I mean, just before Simon jumps in there, I think it's very hard and I've travelled all over the world and worked with a lot of people, a lot of companies, and we're very conservative in this country. We're not if you go to America, like you just said about Simon, you'll turn up and Sam will give a motivational speech and you'll go out and you think you're the best in the world. You'll go out and conquer that stage. In America, they do that on a day-to-day basis with their teams. They will have a high five. They'll have a group hug. They'll do all these things purely and simply to keep Van Michael, who we've had, Van Council, Van, he's fantastic group in America. They do that on a daily basis. They start with a group meeting first thing before they start work in the morning. They have to be there half an hour before to have a team meeting and team brief, just like you do before you go on stage. And I think that's
brilliant.
Country.
I think that's so good. I mean, if you can walk into a salon or barbershop and have a motivational speech every time you start, hard to do, but I think if you can do that, I think that's great. I think that's if any salons are out there doing it, well done. I think that's brilliant to do.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think, I used to try when I was working in salons. Pretty much every day I try to do something like that. And so obviously they know when they come to exhibitions or when I see them at different events or seminars and stuff, I try to do it every single day. And I think one of my biggest strengths is to make them believe they're even better than what they are. Even when they're tired, they don't feel tired. They feel like our last show, it's the most intense show. When you're most tired, that's when the true champions come out. And he's stood the test of time, this kid. This kid's just done everything I've asked him to do. He's one of my first names on the team sheet. He's my striker. He's my Ronaldo. He's my he's my Pirlo. He's like been fantastic for Wahl. Wahl's been fantastic for him, but he's been fantastic for Wahl as well. And I wish the kid all the best in the world. He knows what I think about him. We've travelled away. We've shared emotional moments together. We've shared personal moments together. I didn't class Michael Damiano as a team member. I class Michael Damiano as part of my family. This kid is, whatever. If he need, no, it's true. Whatever he needed, he knows that I'd be there for him. And we speak, he spoke to me last 2 Saturdays going into work when he's knackered and stuff. We speak all the time. I love him to death, and he knows that. I think you're a top man. I want everybody who's viewing, 100,000 people viewers in the next week, the podcast. Michael Damiano is one of the rising stars in British barbering. He's already won loads of awards, but he's got lots of years left in him. And he's going to prove that once we get rid of this pandemic, he's going to really prove that on the main man as the Wahl front man on the stages. And I can't say any more than that.
What are you drinking? Tell him shut up, will you? Just tell him shut up. What are you drinking anyway?
Do you know what? I'm actually just trying to find a drink in my staff room what I had lying around because I literally just finished work around like 8:30. I gave it a quick clean. And I thought, what have I got to drink here? I wanted to go to the shop and get a few beers, but I didn't have time. So I'm actually drinking vodka and Red Bull. I don't think this is doing me.
What?
Drinking it now at 9:30 at night. It's not even my drink, to be honest, but I need something. What are you guys drinking?
Hey,
Yankee candles.
You should be drinking this.
What are you drinking? Yankee candles?
I'm drinking, yeah, he is. He's melting them down. I've got Desperado. We've had some moonshine He likes drinking his moonshine out of jar. Guys,
Well, that was a gang.
you can't do that. I can't say what it's like.
I've got to get rid of it for next week because I'm not drinking it again.
Right, but from what I've heard of lads, some of my mates at local pub have said to me, you know, when your mate on that Barber's Arms takes the drink out of the big jar, you've got to pour it in a jar because it's a bit like us doing da-da-da-da-da, and it's like, it's naughty, and you can't take it out of the big jar like that. You don't know what you're drinking. You've got to put it in a glass so you can see.
What?
Exactly.
What do you mean? It was
see the amounts that you're drinking. Yeah, but you do one of them. We're not going to ask Mike what his favourite wall clipper is because all the clippers are his favourites.
No, but from a layman's point of view, from another barber, if he could pick just one general clipper and one trimmer, what would they be?
Mine, senior, and obviously the cordless detail at the minute. They're my two tools that I use for everything. That is it. I love the senior. That is my favourite clipper at all time right now. And can go about it.
We've missed Salon International, we've missed Barber Connect, we've missed lots of stuff. We saw each other probably last time we see each other. We were February at Pro Air in Manchester.
This year.
Wow. Seems weird. But I'm going to try and get a trip down to Bedford to see the new Damiano hairdressing salon before the end of the year. Maybe I'll stay on for a night. We have a few beers.
100%.
Hey, excuse me, can I come?
Of course, everyone's welcome.
Oh, of course, Gaz. We'd love you to come. Listen, the massive Italian contingency in Bedford. Michael, Gaz would love it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's got the highest population of Italians in England, to be honest. So when the football, when the football was the place to be.
I used to work in Bedford a lot at one time. The NHBF are based in Bedford, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So I used to work down there a lot at one time. For 5 years, I was travelling down. What a ball ache to get to from Stoke.
Did you like
a nightmare.
No, we'll definitely do a night in Bedford. That'll be fantastic. Mick, superstar, as I've said to you tonight, I can't give you any more praise than where I've done, Matt. You're fantastic at what you do. Wish you all the best in the Damiano wear, what you're doing at the minute. I can't wait to see you live. Hopefully that's in the next 2 or 3 weeks when I come down and see you. But all the best, bro. Thank you for joining us on Barber's Arms. Our local hero, Michael Damiano.
Thank you so much, guys. And thank you for inviting me. And it's taken you so long. How long have you guys been doing this show for?
25 weeks.
And now you invite me. Okay.
Actually, Mike, you've been on the road from day one, and you kept letting us down.
That's me. I'm too busy. Since after lockdown, I've been in my shop religiously every day. I was doing 7 days in my shop for the first 4 weeks, and I thought this is killing me. So I've gone down to 6. I've been literally, I mean, it's like 10:15. I'm still in the shop. I'll be here from 8 o'clock tomorrow. I've just become obsessed being in here. So my partner is just like, I don't even know why she's with me because I'm never home. I've got 2 kids that I don't see. It's actually easier being at work than it is at home. So
We've all had that conversation, mate. Absolutely love you. You're an absolute gentleman. Every time I've met you, you've been a great host. Lovely to see you again, mate. Soon, hopefully have a beer with you in Bedford soon.
Hopefully, yeah, we're going to make that happen. We'll arrange that.
Michael Damiano in the house.
See you later, mate.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Blinky Neck, probably one of the busiest episodes we've ever had. You never stop talking.
Well, I think we had some great guests on tonight. I think we had some great topics that they fetched up and quite close to us, or certainly close to me, Bill and Michael, but also I think Bill close to you as well. You spent a lot of time with Bill, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I love Bill. I think he's a great guy, and like I said, if anybody needs any help, he's always there for you as well. He's a great source of information, inspiration. Lovely bloke, been in the job forever as well. So wish him all the best in his new venture. But also, you know, Jay, he's inspiration as well. I mean, what a guy, giving his time for free. He knows where he's come from, where he's been. And to offer that and give it a leg up to people free, that doesn't happen very often either, does it?
You know, I've done some, I'm going to share this with everybody now. So about 10 weeks ago, one of my pals, Carl Smith, a barber, he's got a local football team, under 14s, under 13s, I don't know what age group. And they pay coaches to go in from academies and teach them once a week. They run it really well, him and my pal Julian. And they'd said, oh, we're struggling this year to get a new coach in. Alex is in between clubs. Would he fancy doing some coaching? So I asked our Alex, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. And I said, well, look, I think they're paying this per hour. Do you fancy doing it before you get a club? As the first night for the training was going to happen, he decided, well, he didn't decide, but he started going on his trials and his journey to get to where he is with York City. So I phoned Carl up the day before, and I said, look, Alex, we always knew it was going to be a bit dicey whether he could do it or not. I said, but I'd like to do it, if you don't mind, to help you out for a couple of weeks, because I've watched academy football since he was 7. I've learnt loads of stuff. I was a footballer, and I've learnt loads of coaching stuff. So fast forward 10, 11 weeks, I've still been doing it. The parents say that I've been the best coach that they've ever seen. The managers, Julian and Carl, say it's been absolutely unbelievable. I'm very disciplined with the kids. But I got this week. One of my other friends phoned me and said, have you been coaching a local football team about 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night in Barnsley? I went, yeah, do you know? He went, let me read you this message. This message came through and said, Simon's been coaching these kids, and my son has developed so much in these last 10 weeks than ever. I wish we'd have met him earlier, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? When you give something back, Gary, like that, it makes you feel so, it don't matter about a grand in your bank account or wherever. I mean, grand's nice in your bank account, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, it's nice to have that really nice feeling of when you've done something for free. And Ken Lee always says to me, sometimes when you do stuff for things will happen good for you. And, I felt really good, and I've watched the kids' faces. And I met this young kid captain. I don't go to the games on a Sunday, but I'll say whoever trains the best is the captain for the weekend. And I watched this young kid on Tuesday night. I met him captain, and I saw his face, and I saw his parents' faces, and all the kids clapped. And they were like, wow, priceless. Can't put money on that. Can't put money on it. Can't hear you, Gaz. Gary, you're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
That's it. Yeah.
So I don't know what is this iPad. It's got a mind of its own. What I was just going to say is, as much as the kids love it and want it, as it's you giving as well. It gives you that fuzzy feeling as well. Gets you out the house, gets you the fresh air, gives you a bit of a meaning as well. And I think it's absolutely fantastic that you can do that as well. Whether you do it as a job is a different story. But when you've got that opportunity to do it, it gives you that little opportunity to give a little something back, doesn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not going to say it anyway, because it would be if somebody came to the hairdressing industry who weren't in the hairdressing industry and said, I can smash this, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? But when you look at football and management and man management of people, individuals, and get the best out of them, that's where I think I could do good. So do I think I could manage it to a higher level at football? League 2, League 1, Championship? Yeah, I think I could. So let's watch this space. Here you go, baby. You're going to see me on Sky Sports. I'm fucking coming at you.
You'll be buying a club soon. You'll be a Brian Clough. You will. You'll be a director, but I won't run the team as well.
Now watch it, young man.
Young man.
I'm sat in Brian Clough. I'm sat in Nottingham at Kenley's on Brian Clough land.
I tell you, you'll never be. Oh, but do you know what? I'm not going to even say it. I was just going to say, I'll come see you when you're in at Leeds or something like that. But we'll see anyway. You're going to live out your dream in junior football, baby.
Well, junior football, moving up the levels, and hopefully, I'd love to get the job at Leeds because I'd be a complete wanker and take them right to League Two and dissolve the club. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd probably say, if I won the Euro Millions, let's say 50, maybe 200 million euros, I'd probably think about buying Ellen Road and closing it down and saying, right, that's enough of that. We'll see you later. So all the Leeds barbers, we all fucking putting in, fucking get him off here. Yes.
I tell you what, I mean, Leeds haven't been there for a long time, but I mean, I'm a Stoke fan, but I can remember going Leeds as well. So, I mean, it was a horrible place to go for an away fan anyway. But I mean, it's funny because how you are because of your life. What was your childhood club then?
Well, growing up, obviously I played for Barnsley probably till I was about 15. And then as I left school, I was playing with Huddersfield as a schoolboy. I was scouted out by Huddersfield. But Barnsley would be my team. It's difficult because when Alex as a kid was at Man U, as a dad, it's a dream when you get the call to say your son's been scouted by Man United. So when he signed for Man United under 9s to under 11s, it was brilliant. But when he went from Man United to Leeds, he got released. I fell out a little bit of love with Man U, but then it came back. I never were a Leeds fan, but he spent his time from 11 through to like 19 at Leeds United. But I was never a Leeds United fan, so I sat there when you get the tickets and you got to go and watch the games, and it's like marching on together. Fucking hell, it used to send shivers down my spine. So and Barnes has always been my own club because me and Bill, we used to sponsor Barnsley. So I'm a Man United fan through and through, and now I still watch Barnsley's results, but obviously tomorrow Alex is in the squad to play FA Cup tomorrow. It's on BBC One at 3:00. He's playing for York City, so I'll be supporting York City.
So are you his agent as well then, or not?
No, he's got his agents, Danny Philpott and Matt Rankin from Base Soccer. Well, thank you for them, guys.
You could have fooled me.
Well, yeah. Do you know, I keep out of it. And he's 21 now, Alex, so like he keeps me out of it as well. It's like he gives me that, you know what your Jake will do to you? They give you that look.
Yeah.
And that look really makes you think like, you know what? I'm just going to shut up because I don't argue with you. And you've got to find your own mistakes and you've got to find your own ways.
It's funny though. It's funny when I go for a pint with Jake on a Saturday, straight after work or whatever, you know, and it's funny what you know at work and what you don't know when you go in the pub and all the lads are talking, and then I'll come back to the table. There's probably 8 to 10 of us. I always buy the beer on a Saturday till whoever leaves first. That's when I stop buying. Like, and we always have a few beers. There's probably 8 to 10 of us or something, and I'm like, you find out like one of them's got the girlfriend pregnant, but they never say a word at work. But like, you know what I mean? It's like,
did you ever show them?
Oh, it's priceless. That hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Or sometimes we stay for the night, just according to how much we are. But what they tell you after, it's like going for a meeting, isn't it? There's all those people in that meeting. Then when you have a pint after, it all gets sorted out. You know what I mean? Well, it's just.
I'm uncool for my son to have a beer with him because he doesn't drink. So I can't have that beer with him on a regular basis. I think the odd times, once or twice a year, that he might go out and have a drink. He goes out with the other footballers and the book a table in some fancy place. And so I've never had that experience. It must be fantastic. But I have to say, with my daughter, Brittany, that's amazing because we love a drink together. And she's an amazing daughter, amazing mother to my grandchildren. So I love having it with our Brit. She's 30, our Brittany. So it's fantastic.
I met her at your 40th, didn't I?
Yeah, she's amazing company. And I love having a drink with her. I can't do it with Alex because he's a fanny, he doesn't drink. And when he does drink, it's always organised once or twice a year in some posh bar somewhere. And if I drank what they drink that night, I'd have an hangover for about a month. So
anyway,
yeah.
Listen. Get your shot out again. Let's have another shot.
What we having?
Listen, it's 25th
That's the third one I've
episode.
had. Bear in mind, I'm not had a drink all week. I'm slurring my words already. I'm a little short of tough note.
Hey, I've just cracked another bottle of Fireball. This is, my favourite, the cinnamon whiskey.
Oh, I love that actually.
But I'm gonna drink Jackie's nastiness.
Oh. Woo-hoo. I've enjoyed tonight, guys. I think I've not had a drink all week. It's been nice. It's been nice candor with the guests that we've had. I think all of it's been. It's like what we set this show out to be, which is just me and you having a beer, and then we've got other people that join us in a bar. We have a beer and we talk about hairdressing and barbering. That's what it's been about tonight. It's really fetched it back to its roots tonight.
Do you know what? I've loved it. Bill, I love him. Got loads of stories, and you got loads of stories. And we're about the same time as the pub shutting out. They'll be chucking out in exactly 7 minutes, so we can't go anywhere else anyway. So I absolutely love our Friday nights, mate.
This is the longest Barbers Arms that we've had for a few weeks, to be fair. So, yeah.
My iPad's just switched off again. I don't know what's happening, mate, to tell you, really. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, look,
anyway.
It's been a great night, mate. Thank you very much for your company, as usual. Hope you've had a good night as much as I have had.
Love you, mate, as usual. We're definitely going to have to go down into Bedford. Good health, everybody.
He's messaged me already.
Yeah. All our American friends, Brazilian, Australian, Middle East, 25th anniversary. All the very best. Good health, everybody.
Yes. I'll dedicate this shot. I'm going to dedicate. I always do this. I love doing it. I love doing every week. Dedicate something because I think something poignant happens in my week where I feel like I've got to mention somebody. So I'm going to dedicate this week as well to Ken Lee, who has persisted me for through lockdown, from me not going out doing seminars and shows. I kind of lost my way a little bit with weight and dieting. So she's been persistent me to do a certain kind of diet, and I've done it this week, which is against normally my usual milkshakes, lose 5 stone quick, and do that. And she's persisted me into doing this really healthy lifestyle, and I've embraced it since Monday up until tonight. But I've lost 0.5 stone this week, so I have to dedicate this week to Ken Lee. She's done an amazing job working with me this week.
Why is she carrying that 0.5 stone for you or something?
Well, she's not carrying it. She's on it herself. She's on about 5 stone wet through anyway. But she's done it as well. So we've done it together. But it's her persistence that's made me do it. And I've really, guys, if you're listening and watching this, I've never ever done Weight Watchers. Because my feeling's always been a milkshake or Herbalife or Alvea, and I've had dramatic weight loss. And this has been different because it's been one that I've not been hungry. So mentally, I've not been like feeling like I've been losing weight, but every morning I've got on scales, £2, £3. So this week I've lost like half a stone. So it's been interesting. We'll keep you posted on it.
You know what it is? When you take your dressing gown off, you want to take your wallet out. When you take your dressing gown off and drop it on the floor, that's what it's doing. Hey mate,
I told you about the leaf blower I had.
Go on.
No, I thought you knew about that. We bought a leaf blower, but not for the leaves outside, just for the 50s in the hallway that I drop out of my pocket.
Anyway, get your ass down here. I'm just getting outside now. I'm just going to have I don't smoke. I'm just going to have a bit of fresh air, and then we're going to go on it again in a minute. So get your ass down here. Okay,
well, I'll meet you there on the post-production meeting.
All right, mate. Love you. Everybody out there, love you to death. Next week, we've got another episode of the Barbers Arms. We're going to bring it to you live from Stoke and Barnsley. Are you in Nottingham, aren't you, at the moment? So live from Stoke and Nottingham from Mr. Gary Machin and Mr. Simon Wahl Shaw. Love you all. See you next week.